please welcome to the stage, Ben.
This is based on a true story. It happened a long time ago to me, and I presented it to a marine charity, so it'll sound more formal than what's gone before. But anyway, let's give it a go. I should have known better than to have swum at dusk. I should have known better than to have swum between two islands. And I should have known better to have swum at that time of day when the bait fish were being washed out of the bay, because where there are bait fish, there are predators. And in the tropics, those predators are big. But I had something else on my mind. I was thinking of the ethereal Ellen, with whom that night I had my first date. When I thought of Ellen, I thought of copper-toned suntan, sand-tangled hair. She smelled of coconut from 20 feet, and she always wore hot pants. So I was pretty excited, and my mind was on other things. And I was thinking, clever me, swimming from A to B saved me a 50-minute walk. I'd be across to the other side. I looked up, there was the beach, a beach on which a few hours before there'd been a lifeguard on one of those towers like you get in Baywatch, and he'd had a megaphone and binoculars, and he was looking for grey triangles cutting through the water. Don't mention the S word. So there I was swimming away, and I got mid-channel and I looked around me, and the sun was just settling on the horizon. Then it remembered it had an appointment elsewhere, and it slipped down. And I looked in the water around me. And when you're swimming in deep water, when the sun's gone down, it looks very black. And I looked down, and I couldn't see anything. And I got that feeling, is there anything down there looking up at me? Don't mention the S word. I turned and I swam a little further, and then everything in my field of vision went grey. This great muscular flank swept past me with a dorsal fin that size, whipped past me. Then the tail, like a scimitar, sides back and forth, caught me in a vortex, and I spun round. Panic set in. My God, I thought, what the hell's going on? Don't panic, don't panic. And I cast my mind back to the many evenings I'd been sipping pints and pints of Budweiser with the bull sharks, with a bone fisherman in Fingerless Joe's Hurricane Shack. And what they said to me then was the only shark that big in these waters is the great hammerhead. And this thing was circling me. And they also said if you swam for it, the shark would get excited, it would go for you, it would probably kill you. The best thing to do was to keep calm, and it might swim away. So there I was, 100 yards from the shore that way, 100 yards from the shore that way, just trying to keep cool. And I remember what another guy said. He said, whenever a predator is eyeing you up, look it in the eye. He knew a thing or two about sharks, because he had just retired. He'd been Donald Trump's psychiatrist. He was now running a pelican sanctuary. But how can you look into a shark's eye when they're 3 feet apart? And another thought came to me. Every year, about 10 people are killed by sharks. But if you compare that with other numbers, think of, for example, lion, Cape buffalo, hippo. They kill hundreds of people a year. What about crocodiles? That's about 5,000. Elephants are several thousand as well. There's the North African death stalker scorpion. 50,000 people a year killed by them. And then there's my cooking. And sharks, well, if we took the 10 people a year who were killed by sharks and we laid them end to end, they would probably get to the window. If we took all the sharks killed by people every year, they would stretch 4 times around the equator. 10 deaths versus 100 million deaths. Now I had a dilemma. You see, the beautiful Ellen and I were going out on a date, and she had a very strange quirk to her character. She liked really sort of gooey food. It was a big joke down there. And the gooier the better. And her favourite food was Chinese. So booking a restaurant, and which restaurant, was a no-brainer. And I was looking forward to that evening, just wondering actually whether the hell I was ever going to get there. But how could I, as a budding marine biologist, be taking a woman to a Chinese restaurant because 100 million sharks a year are killed for one reason and one reason alone: shark fin soup. It's a gelatinous soup very popular in Southeast Asia. It tastes good, I'm told. I've never tried it. How could I be taking her on a date where the one thing she'll probably order off the menu is shark fin soup? Moral dilemma. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll change venues. I'll take her to the pizza place across the street, and I'll say to Alfonso, make a really gluey sort of pizza for her. And that way, I may still find my way into her affections. And there was more I knew about this shark. As it circled me, as it moved off behind me, I knew no hammerhead shark had ever actually killed a person. So as it moved away and headed at high speed for Cuba, I waved it goodbye. And I wondered, was it in search of sweet and sour stingray? Thank you.